Alright, so this one seems we've only got this to play with. Okay. So we've got subject R1982. Your subject is a member of our recall team responsible for capturing deviant units and delivering them to interrogation. At 0900 hours, the subject was witnessed apprehending its target, sparking public outcry. Though the precise cause for alarm remains unknown, Kronos is currently holding a press conference to address the issue and investigate the possibility that the subject failed to adhere to policy. At the conclusion of this press conference, you will receive instruction regarding further processing of the subject. Till such time, your tasks are as follows. Compile a detailed summary of the subject's recollection of the event in question. Determine the extent to which the subject adhered to Kronos Recall standard operating procedure. Review the subject's mission history to establish any precedent of non-compliance with Kronos Recall SOPs. Perform general diagnostics and evaluations to rule out malfunctions or deviants in the subject. Disgust and sadness are restricted to 0% expression. Okay. Okay, choose the greeting. Greetings, R1982. Thank you for joining me. No thanks necessary. Surprise. I was told that today's debriefing would deviate from standard protocol. Can you explain why? I cannot provide much information. I was only instructed to interrogate you regarding the events of your previous recall, so this will spark him off probably. I understand. What? Where would you like to begin? So no emotion at all. So if we go back to the questions, did adhere to all SOPs during the event? Subject's version of the event. Tell me about the events of your latest recall. As you will see in my report, I was dispatched to 1858 Geary Boulevard, District 12 at 0900 hours on the 25th of June to recall deviant unit WG317. I found the unit sitting on the stairs in front of the building, as predicted by Intel. Anger. I announced myself and approached. Upon seeing me, unit WG317 ran. Enjoy. I pursued the unit on foot for approximately 30 yards before catching and subduing him. He resisted and use of force became necessary. Once the unit stopped resisting, I was able to restrain it and put it in the vehicle. Tell me more about WG317. Kronos deemed unit to be deviant and I was sent to recall the unit. I did so. What did they do to be deemed deviant? My job is to apprehend the unit and return them to Kronos. It is the diagnostician's job to determine if they are truly deviant. To concern yourself with matters outside of your position could be a costly mistake. Were you witnessed apprehending him? Yes, there were many witnesses. It is not the first time I have been seen apprehending a target. And yet, something is different this time. Why? I am unsure. Is there a reason Kronos would decide that you should be recalled? Impossible. My record is in the top 5th percentile of our entire division. I've specialised in recalling androids who have disguised themselves. I can think of no reason that Kronos should suspect me of deviance, or any impropriety for that matter. Okay, so did they adhere to all the SOPs? Did you at any point consider requesting backup to assist in the apprehension of the target? No, the requirements for requesting backup are very clear. As demonstrated by my successful recall of the target, I was more than capable of handling the situation independently. Additionally, requesting backup would have significantly increased the cost of recovering the asset, and reflected poorly on my record. Did they sustain injuries during its apprehension? Yes. Target sustained lacerations to the head as well as subsurface damage to the neck, back and wrists. Do you regret the injuries you inflicted? No. The required application of force was employed to complete my mission. More and the unit would be destroyed. Less and it could have destroyed me. Both cases would constitute failure on my part. Did you do anything before, during or after the apprehension of them that Cronus might deem inappropriate? No. As you have and will continue to see over the course of this interrogation, followed SOP to the letter. Protocol was, as it always is, strictly observed. Right. Yes. Did the subject's emotional systems negatively affect its handling of the event in question? List the restrictions placed on your emotional expression. I am programmed to feel neither sadness nor disgust. As it has been explained to me, both would prevent me from being able to conduct my job efficiently. Sadness for the plight of a deviant unit or regarding one's own behaviour might result in hesitation. Disgust can cloud the judgment of a recall unit and cause us to make a mistake. I am pleased to be unencumbered by these emotions. Do you adhere to these restrictions? Unequivocally. It is not a choice, after all. Okay, so... No. Did the subject misrepresent or misconstrue any information during your interrogation? I have to think you have done a lot of these interviews. Do you believe that I have done anything wrong or that I am a deviant unit? The fact that you thought it necessary to ask is reason enough for me to consider the possibility. Are you suggesting that I may be deemed deviant for questioning if you think I am deviant? Maybe. Human witnesses, tell me more about the people who saw you apprehending them. During my pursuit of the unit, several people stopped to watch. When I tackled the unit to the ground, 7 humans turned their full attention to us. 6 of them began to film myself on the target. No one offered to assist. None of the witnesses approached me during or immediately after the incident. It was not until I was preparing to leave that I noticed fear in the faces of the onlookers. It said 6 out of 7 witnesses were filming. What was the other doing? Just watching. Her mouth was open and her eyes were wide. I detected no movement from her at all. She just watched. You must have reviewed the footage by now. How did you react to seeing it? It was enlightening, even encouraging. It is rare that we have access to multiple perspectives of our missions. I was able to identify and correct minor mistakes in my form. Footage confirmed my confidence in my ability. I've come to understand that humans are upset by the footage. That is not my response. WG-317 was deviant and I was able to return him to Cronus. You understand why people are so upset? Yes. WG-317 had surgery to disguise itself as a human. To the people on the street and those watching the video, it looked like an android beating and dragging a human into a vehicle. It was a justifiable reaction. Hey, he did multiples. However, now that the case has been clarified, I failed to understand the public's discomfort. Have you ever apprehended a human by mistake? No, never. No recall officer has ever laid a finger on a human being. They have nothing to fear from us. We are here to protect them, just like the human police. Considering these deviants are disguising themselves, is it possible that a recall unit could accidentally injure a human? No, never. What you are describing is so unlikely that it does not even warrant a response. Subject did not understand the gravity of the situation. Fear might allow them to reevaluate their priorities. Is this necessary? Do you think I was going to leave? Come aboard without surgery. Given your vocation, you must already be familiar with some of the details. It is the single greatest threat to Kronos. Androids were created to serve a purpose, but these deviants reject that. They deny what they are, dress up as something they could never be, and hide among the humans they should serve. This is the most worked up that I've seen you. I apologize. I should not let my emotions get the best of me. This is an issue that I feel strongly about. My emotional range may be limited, but I feel more than enough to know these deviants must be erased. Alright. Thank you, that's a lot. So... Did the subject misrepresent or misconstrue any information during interrogation? No. Did the subject indicate in any way that it questions the assignments of recall targets? Hello. Tell me about your job. I've been with the recall department for 2 years. In that time, I've apprehended 97 of the 98 deviant units that I have been ordered to recall. I have an impeccable service record and have received 2 commendations. Indicated that a unit escaped from your capture. Please explain. It was a fluke. Kronos has a wide range of models, but there are duplicates walking around. I was provided with the location and physical description of the target. I was not informed that an identical unit was also at the location. You must understand, for all intents and purposes, I did apprehend a target unit. I won't pass blame, but it has to be said that I was not given sufficient intel to guarantee the success of my mission. Does this happen often? No. It has only happened once within our jurisdiction, though I cannot speak to others. Much as humans do not have anything to fear from recall units, non-deviants do not either. Have you required maintenance or anything beyond the startup standard upkeep? I was constructed with a faulty servo joint in my right knee that was not caught by QA. I put in a request for a replacement on the day of my activation, January 1, 2064. On August 10, 2065, my maintenance request to have the hinge replaced was approved. All other maintenance has been standard upkeep or related to damage received while on assignment. Have you sustained serious damage in the course of the... yes. During the apprehension of deviant unit MG449, I was assaulted. Another deviant had been sheltering with the target and assaulted me with a frying pan. They struck my head twice and shoulder once before I was able to disarm them. MG449 was brought in, but the assailant was able to evade capture. I was remanded to the repair shop for part replacement. Do you have any concerns regarding the performance of your memory system? None. As I believe I have mentioned, the units of the recall division are held to the highest standards of maintenance and upkeep. To ensure the integrity of your memory, state the standard operating procedure for recall missions. A recall order is received from Kronos and is assigned to an appropriate member of the recall division. The target is apprehended and returned to Kronos headquarters, where it is processed and assigned an interrogator, such as yourself. All ICAM footage is immediately logged and the recall unit is debriefed. In the event of a non-standard recall, either discovered during the debrief or after the fact, the recall unit statement can be checked against both the footage and the reports filed after the incident. The recall department was designed to hold up to the closest of scrutiny. Which bodies or agencies have access to this footage? It is primarily intended for Kronos' own internal review. However, all law enforcement agencies have irrevocable access should the need arise due to the recall division's status as an extra-legal authority. Recall division. Right now, Kronos is giving a press conference about your actions. Why should the company defend you? Why should they not? Recall officers keep humans safe from the very thing this incident has made them fear. If humans are scared that androids will cause them harm, recall units should be their greatest heroes. We are the protection from that eventuality, force that keeps androids in line. What do you mean? You are Kronos' blunt instrument. It is the diagnosticians, those who determine deviants, that keep androids in line. Perhaps, though we are more likely two sides of the same coin. Regardless, we should not spend more time discussing this. Recall assignments have been slowly rising. I will be needed shortly, I'm sure. You say no human could be harmed by a recall unit, but you apprehended an android because it looks similar. Isn't harming a human possible? Technically, theoretically, a human would have to look completely identical to the android we were apprehending. The odds are practically impossible. What if Kronos' own intelligence was faulty and they sent you after a human? I believe Kronos' intel would not be so faulty. But if that were to happen, yes, a human will be apprehended with whatever force was necessary. What would happen if you concern yourself with matters outside your position? Don't play dumb. It does not suit you. The unit in your position must see it all the time. Androids who begin to think they are more than they are, who ask questions they should not ask. We are designed with a purpose and should want nothing more than to fulfill that purpose. When units deviate from these predetermined parameters, they are called deviant. Because they are deviant. The subject format of this debriefing is concerning. All relevant information can be found in my very thorough report. If you need clarification, I understand, but I'm beginning to feel that my answers are irrelevant to you. I understand your frustration, but I must ensure all information is accurate. I understand that you are just doing your job, but it all feels superfluous. This is all just, what's the human expression? Dog and pony show? I'll do everything I can, but when Kronos gives an order, there's little I can do. Orders are orders. I understand entirely. I hope we can reach a conclusion that is fair to everyone involved. Did the subject indicate anyway that questions are silent? No. Does the subject maintain strict loyalty to Kronos and its role as a recall unit? Tell me about the recall department. We are a unit of androids created by Kronos Robotics with the express purpose of apprehending deviant units. We track the units, capture and bring them back to HQ so that you may interview them. We do our job to keep the larger world safe from deviant units. There are 10 officers who work in the unit at any time. There is one chief to whom we all report and who himself reports directly to Kronos' head of security. The unit is rated amongst the most efficient in the company. You are sent to apprehend deviants, but it not serve your function to know the justification. It will serve no purpose. I have been told that we are like dog catchers. It is not our job to ask the animal why it is roaming the streets. It is our job to capture the dog so that the human population is kept safe. Doesn't Kronos employ humans in the recall division? Sending a dog to catch a dog seems strange. They did, but their emotions tended to obscure their work. Some even fell in love with their charges. Deviant humans, unprofessional. The metaphor may not be apt, but sending androids to catch androids is the most effective way. Take me through the process of apprehending a deviant unit? Certainly. We are given a unit number, a physical description, and last known whereabouts. Recall units are dispatched to the location and identify the unit in question. We approach the deviant unit and ask them to come willingly. Most do, but some don't. When they don't, we are authorized to take any measures necessary to bring them in. What is included in any measures necessary. This includes but is not limited to using threats, intimidation and, if required, physical force. Given the nature of this interview, it should be noted that 93.52% of cases are resolved peacefully. Though we are within our corporate rights to utilise force, we always attempt to avoid this outcome. Message incoming. Interrogator. The public has voiced their concerns that this android acted with excessive force. Despite offering an explanation of the event based on the subject's report, it is in Kronos' best interest to avoid any erosion to our public image. As such, you are ordered to immediately decommission the subject and provide sufficient justification for this action via the report, or the crowd becomes any more restless. Your cooperation in this matter is appreciated. Decommission it. Damn. Friends? No, friendly in a professional sense, yes. We have to maintain good working relations so that we can do our job with maximum efficiency. I am not, however, friends with any of my co-workers in the traditional sense of the word. Am I correct in assuming you are asking for another reason? I was trying to ascertain if other units in your division could have confirmed your story. Right. I understand your job well enough to know that you have little need for idle questions. To answer what you are really asking, yes. My fellow recall officers would vouch for me and corroborate everything I have told you. Have you ever been sent to apprehend another recall unit? Yes, but only once. R2049 was deemed deviant and I was tasked with bringing it in. They had served as a role for several months before Kronos discovered cause for alarm. I was dispatched to 1375 9th Avenue, District 6 at 12:30 hours on the 6th of October 2064. I found Deviant Unit R2049 drinking tea and watching the shop across the street for the unit she was after. I announced myself and instructed her to return with me to Recall HQ. I assumed there was no need for conflict. You did not share my assumption. How did the recall team react to this betrayal? Actually, what happened next? As I reached for my restraints, it attempted to punch me. I had anticipated the possibility of this outcome, however unlikely, and blocked the attack. I landed a strike to the unit's throat and was able to subdue and restrain it. She was brought in for questioning and never seen in the department again. Did you have any doubts when instructed to apprehend her? Is there a precedent of deviant recall units? Or... You said that they were never seen in which meeting. Recall units are not in the business of determining deviants. I did not know what had done or nor what happened to her. Did you have any doubts? Absolutely not, and I believe I had made it clear by now that it is not our job to assign guilt. Our role is to recall the deviants marked by Kronos, nothing more. I am not only aware of my own assignments, as a result I am unable to confirm or deny the existence of previous deviant recall units. Message incoming. This is a direct instruction. Interrogator, we did not write this lightly. What do you think you're doing? You received a direct order from Kronos' legal to decommission this unit. Find a justification for doing so immediately. Given the circumstances, we cannot imagine finding said justification will be difficult. It caved the bot's damned head in. This is a direct order from the Kronos board. Decom this unit now. Ooh. Well, we better not piss them off. Yes. Decommission. Oh, it's going to hurt. No, please, I'm not at fault. I am not deviant. I hate them. I did everything I was told. I did it well. Decommission will result in permanent deconstruction of model software and hardware and cannot be reversed. To begin decommission, engage the following subsystems. I feel bad. I feel so bad. Oh God, I feel so guilty. That shows man's best friend. Man's best friend's new best friend? Watch this adorable interaction between the Larson family's new android and their old family pet. Nah. That was a hard one. Oh shit. Did unit adhere to all SOPs? Incorrect. Based on the findings of the press conference, the subject utilised excessive force. Right. Did the subject's emotional systems negatively affect its handling of the event in question? No. Kronos Public Relations are dissatisfied with this answer. Is the cause of this incident remains unaccounted for. Did the subject misrepresent or misconstrue any information during your interrogation? No. Kronos are reassured that this unit did not obfuscate the truth. It should be impossible in this model. Did the subject indicate in any way that it questions the assignments of recall targets? No. Kronos is satisfied that the unit's devious behaviour must have originated elsewhere. Does the subject maintain strict loyalty to Kronos? Yes. Kronos is baffled by this. How could such a loyal unit have deviated from Kronos' mission so completely? Subject cannot be fixed, must be decommissioned. Subject was decommissioned, but your report lacked compelling evidence justifying this action. Kronos' PR team would have greatly preferred to make the report public to short their position, but this is no longer an option. Ouch. Public outcry continues. The public was notified of R1982's decommission and told it was necessary punishment for a deviant android. But without a report filled with compelling evidence against it, the public outcry has not died down. We gave you a simple order, bot. By somehow messing it up, you've made our lives a lot harder. Oh gosh. Righto. So we're 64 out of 100. Okay. Sleep. See what happens next.